Hey everybody, welcome back. So we're gonna go over today's trade. Today was a bit of a roller coaster. Uh, Not the best day, but not the worst day. Honestly, it could have gone a lot worse. I want to say, my experience in trading so far has helped me recover the loss that I made today. So we're gonna hop right into it. So first trade was ACXP. ACXP pops up on the news. I see on the scanner with announces Lancet Microbe with phase 2B clinical trials. I don't know what this is. I work in medicine, but I'm not familiar with that. But hey, the market seemed to like it. So here's what happened. This is what happens when you trade in a broker that's not Lightspeed. I trade Think or Swim. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Maurice. I'm a beginner day trader, and I trade using Charles Schwab. So with Charles Schwab, there was a bit of a delay. And also, if you have bad internet, shitty internet, it's not going to be good. Your trades might get delayed. So something happened where I took a trade and I couldn't get out. So I tried adding around here, 48, 702, and I kept adding because I saw this go up. So it went up already up on the hour. It was up more than 10%. Went up from 30, went up to 35, 40. 42, and I saw it go up, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna get in right here. This little micro pullback before it rips, and I'm in, right? So I'm in with a lot of shares, and then I thought I'm getting in. I think I'm getting in, but I'm not. I see that my I'm looking at my entries and it's getting delayed. So I'm like, why is it not filling? So my Wi-Fi went out. I quickly switched over to my hotspot, went on my phone's Wi-Fi, used the hotspot, and I was like, okay, well, this is a bit of an issue. So what's going to happen from here? So typically when I see this double top pattern, I'm like, fuck, well, I'm going to sell. It's not going to recover, especially with penny stocks. It really doesn't recover, but as you can see here, it did recover. So based on my entries, I was getting in late. 67. So you could say, I just spoiled the the P&L, but you could say I could have waited, but I kept adding here. So as you can see, I added 67, 63, 65, 64, and then I added all the way down on these dips right here, 57. 57. So I added at this pullback. This was a correct spot to pull back, right? And it popped up. So this was a proper pullback for me to keep adding. It went up. I was running 1,000 shares, and I couldn't get out at this top. It wouldn't allow me to sell, and it goes further, and I'm like, what is happening? What is happening? And I kind of freak out. I'm like, okay, like what's going to happen? And I don't think this is going to recover. With penny stocks, I like to just get in and get out, get my profit. I don't like to hold because penny stocks, it's really hard for them to recover. There can be a lot of resistance. So the float was 17 million. The news was okay, but obviously I sell right around here. So I sell for a loss of 150. And I'm like, bro, please tell me it's not going to go up. And it went up. My target goal was to be 80 cents. My average was on 63 cents, 62 cents. I wanted to get out around here. And it took, let's see, by the time I got out, it took about 10 minutes. So had I been patient 10 minutes, I would have been up $200 on the day. But I didn't think it was going to really do that. I mean, the whole point is to manage my risk. I can't bet that it will always do this. A lot of stocks were actually popping up around that time using the day trade dash. So I was just like, okay, if I'm seeing a lot of stocks going up at the same time, my thought is, okay, liquidity is going to be pulled out from this specific stock, and it's going to be focused on another stock that is popping up at the same time. That is my thinking. I don't like to bet and hold. That's not really the strategy. I mean, betting and holding, you're just gambling. I didn't think that this would go up higher. Yeah, the 200 EMA was around 93 cents, but it kept going up, and I was like, fuck, man. And I'm watching. I'm sitting here squishing my stress bear. I'm like, god damn it. I'm like, why? And of course it goes up to $1. 8.10, another hour. I'm like, what? Like, I could have made like $400, $500, but I'm not going to hold for that long. So that's not the ideal trade. Next trade, PRPH. Thank goodness for PRPH, man, because holy shit, I would have probably had a worse day today. And this is why I don't hold. Look at this. It popped up at a high of 60 and it went to 32. And I sold at the top. I bought right around here on 40s. I kept adding, and I was in deep shares. I was in 2,500 share position with this because I did have around $900 left over. So let me see. When it first popped, So around 7:30. So I didn't take my first trade until 4:30 my time, Pacific Standard. So what was the reason for this? This met the criteria. This didn't meet the criteria. So I did break my rule. This was over 20 million. But I did see that this was studying in detecting esophageal cancer. It's a common cancer. You can't always bet that the market will like cancer, but I noticed that the volume was pretty high. Look at this. So 100K, 120, almost to 200K. Like, it was a pretty high volume. Level 2 was really picking up. So where did I enter and where did I exit? I entered around 4:30 in the morning, so pretty much right when this went up, 4:31. I bought in. My average was around 45, 48. So I kept adding. As you can see, I'm adding at each candle. And I'm also looking at the 1 minute. So I'm here. I'm adding on the dips, and it's consolidating. It's going up. I didn't sell up until here. So this wasn't like a long, I was hoping for a push up, but there was resistance at this level. So I kept adding here, I added there, hopefully for a potential breakout, but didn't. And it pulled back, added further here, and then I just kept holding. I'm like, okay, this is going to bounce back. My indication of the bounce back was, or the reversal from this pullback was here. This candle right here, 434. So I'm adding for about almost a minute. A full minute I'm adding this entire trade. So this whole candle from 432 to 433, I'm adding at this candle. It did dip, and then it rips up to 68 cents, and then I got out for a winning of $106. I was up around 120, but it was hard for me to get out. So the thing with Lightspeed, with a bigger, better broker, you have to have $25,000 or more. You need to be a pro trader, basically. You'll be in and out super quick. You're not gonna have delay. You're gonna get in. You're paying for the service. So the thing is with that, I don't pay for per trade. I don't know what the rate is for Lightspeed, but for Charles Schwab, it's pretty much free. It's only like per trade, it's only like 2 cents. It's basically free. The commission fee is not that much. But with Lightspeed Broker, the commission fees are pretty hefty. So you have to, especially with penny stock too, each transaction, I'm pretty sure it's like there is a fee in selling it too. So that's why I don't use that. I like Charles Schwab, but what you're paying for that premium to get in right away, to get filled in. Otherwise, people who are in first, people who have better access are going to get in before you do, and then you might, not get the profit you want. So you really have to be really precise with how you enter and how you exit. And I got out for a win. So down $50 on the day. Hey, I'm still green on the week. We have enough cushion on the day for the week, since the first 2 weeks were really great. So yeah, see 156. I was bummed out. I was up around $40-50 for a little bit, and then it began to sell off, and I was like, okay. And here, 106. So I think we did a good job. I felt pretty confident in recovering myself. So I know I said my stop loss would be $50, but I kind of broke my rule again. So that's strike two. I broke my rule twice. So I didn't trade the stock criteria that met all of it. The second stock really wasn't ideal. It had 33 million share float. It should have been under 20 million, but yeah, that is a big no-no. I know I still recovered, but it doesn't feel good breaking my rules, because then I'm gonna start getting comfortable, and then once I get comfortable breaking out the rules, I'm gonna have a huge loss where I end up fucking myself over, and it's gonna be bad. But hopefully we don't get across that ever. I just gotta be grateful I was able to pull through. I made the less. I mean, basically $100 less. So I'm down $50. I'm grateful for it. I'll take it. I'm still up on the week. Not a huge deal. We just gotta go in careful tomorrow. I think what part of it was too, I did come back late last night, and I was pretty sleepy. So I gotta remind myself next time. Okay, when I'm sleepy, I gotta take my time, not rush things, because I was pretty tired. But we still pulled through, and honestly, I'm pretty grateful. It's okay. It's not the end of the day, not end of the world. I mean, it is closer to the end of the day. It's 7:54 my time, but not the end of the world. So what are we gonna look for going into tomorrow? Well, tomorrow honestly, from this stock scanner, it looks like we have a lot of continuation. So PBM, the float is 142,000. That's a really short float. This thing can really go up. Let's see what the news is. So it gains full compliance with NASDAQ. So that's not really the best news. That's just more of a congratulations ticket. Nothing crazy. But if this does have enough volume, I can say we could expect, it's safe to assume that we could expect a big move. Maybe some resistance at $6. Let's look at the 200 moving average. Also, recent reverse splits. If a stock has had a recent reverse split, which I think this has had, to meet NASDAQ compliance, typically the shares will get cut. The float will be cut by a lot. But I think this has already made some pretty big moves already. Yeah, this had a high of 756. So who knows? I mean, the 200 moving average is $91. With reverse stock splits, typically the 200 moving average will be insanely high. So don't assume that it'll always go up there. You never know. Look at RGC. RGC is a crazy example of a Chinese stock. How do I know it's Chinese? Oh, it's Hong Kong. HK is Hong Kong. They did a stock split because the stock was over $800 fucking dollars, and the stock was trading at $4 like a couple months ago, and it went up to a high of 800. Then had a reverse split, and then not reverse, it was a regular stock split. The stock was around $17 to $18. Then today and yesterday it ripped up higher, from a low of 26 to a high of 83, and then it's crazy, man, crazy. But we won't trade that. That's not our cup of tea. Whoever made that money will be fine. Anything else I'm looking for? The other stuff at IN, let's see. They're doing cryptocurrency treasury reserve. I don't know if that's going to be good news for tomorrow. Let's see. What others? SLRX, possibly, if there's news tomorrow. Low flow. I have traded this before and I've had pretty good results. Yeah. So what I'm looking for on the scanner, on this weekend's, I should have a video. This weekend's video, I'm going to go over on what I'm looking for, how I set up my day trade dash. This is going to be more of a guide, or more of my setup if you're trading the momentum strategy that Ross is trading. That way, anyone that's looking at, how does Ross set up his stuff? What does he do? Is there an episode? I don't know if he has an episode devoted to going through all this. Maybe he has, maybe it's old, but I'm going to make that video for myself and for you guys. That way you guys can kind of see, like, okay, what is this? Why am I going to be paying for this? To me, it's worth paying for this. If you don't have this, what stocks are you going to look for? Where are you going to go for? You're not going to have the time to go on the internet, look up stocks with hot news. It's impossible. You need a stock scanner. This thing filters out everything for you, makes your life so much easier. One less headache. You're going to have multiple headaches if you're in a bad trade. But yeah, as it stands, we're still good. Solid $608. I'll take it. We're already above the goal. Ideally, week 1 and 2 together should have been $500, but hey, we're up over $100 above that goal. We're going to keep that cushion. We're going to go in caution tomorrow. We're going to be careful. Tomorrow is, the day before the break. So let's end off tomorrow with a good note. I hate to leave a break on a red day. That's the worst case scenario, because then you're going to be itching to jump back on Friday, wanting to make up the loss, and that's going to create a negative feedback loop that he calls, and it's going to start a cycle, and then you're going to have just horrible thoughts. You're going to be not so confident, and you're going to want to make back money. But hey, if this is the only other trade day, this is going to be the only other trade day. I know yesterday said this will be the only trade last red day. I said that this was only going to be the last red day, but today we fumbled. It's going to happen. I recovered. It ended off on a good note, so I'm not too angry, and it happens. That's the way trading goes. Trading goes that way. You have to be okay with it. The way you got to be okay with it is saying that it's okay, and if you have a positive mindset where you can go on forward. If you have a strong why, you can overcome any how. That's my motto I like to go by. And it's not going to be the end. As long as you're smart, keep your stop loss, and you should be okay. All right, have a good day, guys.